have here is a scene with some great fall color. I was gonna originally shoot this scene looking that way because there's kind of an image, but the tree isn't quite peaked back there. So I'm right here, found this spot in the middle of the river, and I've got this peak color of some lovely maples and all other sorts of trees. Got some oranges, yellows. Super high up I have some reds, but I can't really get that with this lens. And I've got a leading line scene going on with some white water. I'm gonna put some filters on it, but it's due to get a nice glow, and I'm guessing about an hour. And it's really gonna be spectacular. I mean, we have got a full plethora of peak fall color around here, pine trees. It's really gonna turn out great. Have a lovely leading line with some nice rocks. And this is really nice because I wanted to use my wide angle lens because I hadn't used it for a while. I had only really been using it for Milky Way photography. And this is a scene that really lends itself to needing a really wide lens. So I'm glad that I'm able to use it. Also, hope the audio is good. I'm shouting because I can hardly hear myself, but I guess you can probably hear the audio fine with this nice microphone. All right, so now the glow is really going on and really enhancing those trees down there, and I'm able to turn the polarizer more and still have a glow. It's really, really warm now. The sunlight is getting down to where the top of my frame is. I've got my ND filter on, so I'm doing 30-second exposures. I had to make a couple f-stop and ISO compromises, but that won't be much of a problem. Let me see how this last one just turned out. The polarizer is also good because it adds a bit of contrast, and I kind of need that since this glow is kind of a soft glow that lays over everything. But man, I'm really happy about this. Getting some great shots. I might crop it a little bit. Sometimes I like to do an 8x10 crop, but for this composition I feel like that would just be like manipulating the image way too much. So I'm gonna crop it a little bit on the sides in post, but this is really coming together. So I'm gonna go down Wall Street after, or not Wall Street, I'm gonna go down this next corridor after this and get to Floating Rock, explore Wall Street, and then go back to Floating Rock. And that's my plan for the Neros. Way more successful than my last trip here. Way more successful. All right, so real quick before too many people come by, I just wanted to talk to you about my setup. I just shot something over there actually. Had a kind of nice glow, not sure how I feel about it. Kind of basic composition. But I'm gonna show you my setup, tell you what I did last time and what I did this time. So last time I just had this dry bag backpack, and the reason that didn't work is because it was very painful on your shoulders, didn't have any hip support or anything like that, and I couldn't really find any that did have hip support on the internet. So what I did this time is I took that dry bag, so I still have it, and I put it inside this backpack. And then I have all my other electronics, which are kind of smaller up top, so that if I fall over, they won't really get damaged. And yeah, I definitely recommend bringing a dry bag just to be safe. And then if you're gonna do that, if it's not very comfortable, you're gonna wanna get some sort of backpack to put it in. But that's how I'm doing it. It's a bit slower to set up, but yeah. So I'm gonna head down to Floating Rock now because there's a glow happening there in the afternoon. But I'll show you the image I just took right over there. Not too sure how I feel about it. It was a vertical composition, had a nice glow. I'm just not sure if it has enough elements to it to be a nice photo. But I'll show you that, and you can tell me what you think about that, and then we're gonna head on to Floating Rock. After hiking down to Floating Rock and setting up a composition, I waited for 2 hours with another photographer named Sheehan. It might sound way too early to get to a location at this time, but it's always best to get there first to ensure that you have first pick on your composition. I knew about this afternoon glow because of a tip that Ben Horn had given me after my last attempt to shoot the scene last summer. The conditions were mediocre. The water was muddy and the light was soft. But the conditions for the shot this time around were perfect. Clear water and empty skies. Perfect for reflected light. So the lighting stayed around for about 10 or 15 minutes, and we got some good shots. There were some people in some of the shots, but I got about 3 or 4 compositions that I liked a lot. I was just using a polarizer, no other filters, and yeah, it's starting to fade out now, but it lasted for about 10 minutes. So this is the last shot of the day. I'm just gonna pack up and head out.